What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Rockin' the Poet Life, where customers become the guests. Today, I have Miss Kelsey with me. Now, before we start, first of all, y'all give a round of applause at home in your chairs and seats, watching the screen. Before I get into that, if you want to be here, like Miss Kelsey, and have this conversation with me, Rockin' the Poet Life, y'all make sure to go to poetlife.com, buy our merch, and then DM us on Instagram telling us that you got it. You can use code prophecy, that is PRXPHECY, as it's spelled right there, to get a discount. That's free money. You was already going to buy it anyway, and you get to come on the show. So just go ahead and do that. Now, getting into it. Welcome to the show. It's nice to have you, Miss Kelsey. Talk to the people. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, I'm Kelsey Bigelow. And yeah, I'm a regular supporter of Poet Life. Most of my closet at this point is Poet Life. With I don't know why I didn't wear it this time, but
That's all good. We'd love to hear that. So tell people, obviously you do poetry. Tell them a little bit more about your content, about your journey. Just talk about yourself a little bit.
yeah. So I've been a poet forever. I've always been writing, but I've been taking it seriously for about 7 years now, just over 7 years. I've been performing for about four. If you can count COVID year in that,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years. And yeah, I have a chapbook out back in 2018, Sprig of Lilac, and I have a spoken word album that I just released back in September, Depression Holders and Secret Keepers,
Mm.
which is super exciting. I just got done with tour about just over a month ago, which was insane, but so fun. And yeah, I've collaborated with Poet Life in that, and I can't say enough good things about Poet Life for all the connections that they've brought me. And yeah, living the poet life.
Yeah, love that. I love that. We'll get back to that. But seeing as how you were here on Rocking the Poet Life, you got to show the people what you just bought. Because I know
I
everybody didn't get these, and
mhm.
you are like one of few lucky people who purchased
Yeah,
these. So go ahead and
I'm
show the people.
stoked. Look at these beauties.
Look
Okay,
at
I'll hold them up.
those.
Look at these. Are they not the snazziest things
Those
in the
things
world?
are
And they have
fire.
Poet Life. Oh, get out of the way. Poet Life on the
Yeah.
tongue. Oh my god, these are sharp. I wore them to last month's poetry slam here in town, and
Really.
I got a lot of compliments on them. People are like, "Oh, look at those!" I'm like,
Yeah,
"I
those are
know,
so cool. Like
they're dope.
we
I
always
love
talk
them."
about the poet representation on the apparel, and that's something different. Like to have poet like shoes. People can look
Shoes.
at your shoes and tell you're a poet. Like,
Like I've got the
come on.
t-shirt, I've got the crew neck, like I've got the things and I love them and I live in them, but shoes are a different level.
Right. They are, and they look fantastic. Like,
Love them.
I know I'm slacking. I need to get me a pair. I'm sitting here talking about them, but just looking at them, that I need to
Worth
get me
it.
some. Right.
Worth it.
So tell me about your spoken word album, because I remember the rollout. I remember how excited you were seeing all the stuff you were posting on Instagram about it. So tell me about, the creation and the journey, and now, the payoff.
It is still a bit of a surreal experience. I spent basically all summer in a recording studio in town, and working with my producer, and laying down all the tracks and editing and nitpicking everything and going in and re-recording to make sure it got it. I relayed the poem as best I could and in the way that I wanted an album to hear versus hearing it live. They're a little bit different,
Yeah.
intentionally. And then yeah, I worked with Brandon Leake, and
Mm.
got his encouragement, and his guide, his instructions of like, go to this website, use these things, use these tools, and it was super helpful. And then I had a photo shoot for it, and I got my designer to design the whole like album artwork. Um, and then yeah, I have like a physical CD. I should grab that. I have a physical
Right.
CD. Like it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a real thing. I have it plastic wrapped too. But like it's so cool. It's like I have a CD,
Mm.
but it's not music, it's poetry. And
Right.
that's we're doing the thing, you know? And then I got to take this on tour. And I went all over the Midwest because I'm from the Midwest. And so I went to 4 or 5 different states over the course of 3 months.
Wow.
It was so cool getting to meet people safely. Of course, we followed all the precautions. I wasn't
Mhm.
going to go if it wasn't safe. And yeah, it's just been cool. And like seeing people online buy it, people I don't know
Yeah.
want this album or are streaming it on Spotify or wherever. And it's like, what?
No, I completely understand. And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope it continues to come in and rack in and you keep getting to reap the benefits of this. Because I know it was hard work, whether you showed it to everybody or not. That hard work behind the scenes,
Hmm.
I'm sure, was there. I've been there. Like, there are days where you just don't want to do it. And the
Yeah,
days where it all pays off is some of the best feelings.
so worth it. It is beyond words the satisfaction that comes with knowing you did the thing.
Yeah.
It was hard, and you're right. There were many days where I was I was struggling with my mental health.
Hmm.
And on those days, I allowed myself to breathe and not go all in. But that allowed me on the good days to really go all in and
Right.
make this happen. And yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, that balance is so important because
Hmm.
burning yourself out on like the thing that normally you want to do is terrible because then that's the same thing you would go to when you are burned out for something else and now you don't have it. So that balance
Hmm.
for all the poets watching, because I'm sure there's, we're talking about this for you,
Yeah.
be uh be gracious with yourself when it comes to the
Hmm.
process. It will be long. It's not going to happen overnight.
Not easy.
It's
You're
not.
not always going to have everybody supporting you. The people you think may not, and the people you may not think will. And I actually, through this process, I think I finally kind of deciphered the difference between inspiration, motivation, and energy.
Mm,
And I'm as a poet, I'm always being inspired by the things in life. There are always things I want to write about, and I'm always motivated to write because I know how good it feels when I do, but I don't always have the energy.
right.
And if you give yourself grace and you take care of your mental health, that energy will come back and the inspiration and motivation are gonna just send you up.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the project and then the tour and everything, how did you fund it? Was it crowdfunding? Would you save up for a really long time? How did you get it done?
Um, I will start by saying what I recommend.
Right.
And I recommend to anybody, if you don't have the means, do what you can. Save,
Mm,
maybe don't do all the things, but do something just to get you going
yeah.
so you can start bringing in the money to save up the money to do the
Mm,
things. Um, Treat it like a business. Crowdfunding can work. How I did it, I am very, very privileged enough to have a day job
hmm.
that pays me well enough to fund my
Right.
passion, to fund this project.
Hmm.
And it was a chunk of change. There's no denying that because I worked with really talented people that I want to make sure they got their due,
Hmm.
same way I'm going to make sure I get mine. And I am making that back in those sales, and so it all kind of
Hmm.
balances out. But I'm very privileged to have a day job that will fund my passion.
Yeah, yeah, that means is very important.
Mhm.
I know, like, being young and trying to do so many things myself, like, I look at what I want to do,
Yep.
and then I look at, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen yet. Like, everybody wants to to tour the world and
Oh,
show
yeah,
everybody everything that you've done. But sometimes you just have to take it slow because
you
you throw
do.
away all the money now. What do you have to keep it going? So I
Yeah.
think that's really important, and I'm so glad it worked out for you the way that it did because it was very
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, and it definitely taking it slow, so people who are starting to follow me now see
Mhm.
this part of my life, but they didn't see the mini tour that I did with my book
Right.
that cost me nothing theoretically because it was all just in this I'm in central Iowa, so it was all just right around here. It was all little
Hmm.
towns here, but it was something to get me started. A
Right.
couple years later, I was able to go a little bit bigger. As much as I want to do a national tour, there was no way I was going to be able to fund that.
Yeah.
Give it a couple years and maybe
Hmm.
I'll get there
Right.
if I keep working.
Hmm. No, yeah, I think that's so important. Everything you're talking about is so
Mhm.
important. So I will ask if you have anything coming up that you can share that the people might want to know about, what's next for you.
Oh, the what's next question is always my
Yeah.
favorite because I have just, there's always so many different things. Like I said, I'm
Mhm.
always motivated, always inspired. There's so many things I want to do. Don't always have the energy. But I'm working on currently, you're the first to hear about this.
Oh.
So I'm currently working on my next chapbook, maybe
Mm,
longer, maybe full length, first full length book of poetry. Trying to do a happier project because my first project was about grief. My next
mhm.
project was about depression and trauma.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few like breakup, love, self-love journey type
Mm,
poems. And I'm still a newlywed. So I have that sort of collection that I'm working on with photography by my husband in there. So
yeah.
working on that.
Wow. That's great. That's great. I'm so excited to see that come out. And I hope it's even more successful than this album has been
Mhm.
for you. I hope y'all at home are clapping that up as you should be. But that's great. I would like to congratulate you again
Thank you.
on everything that you accomplished. I again wish you luck and faith with everything else you have going on. And if that's the only thing you can share with us, then I guess we'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll see
But
what 2022 brings. We'll
oh yeah,
see.
yeah. If it's anything like 2021, okay, something will happen. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Those of you watching this, if you would like to come join and be a part of this conversation and get your shoes, man. I know y'all see. Come on, look at it. Look
Look
at it.
at that.
If you're a poet, how could you not want to wear those on stage when you're doing your poetry? I wish I had that when I was doing my stuff last week. Anyway, if you would like to be here, purchase your gear at thepoetlife.com and DM us on Instagram, letting us know that you bought it and that you want to be on the show. And you can come chop it up with me and we can have this great conversation. Kelsey, thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show today. Please follow her right there at that ad that's right under her name. You have no excuses right there. Just go ahead. Just copy,
Right here.
paste. It's right there. There you go. All right. Thank y'all so much. See y'all next time.